What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as the title says, I'm going to show you basically how I care for my crested geckos, how I feed them, their enclosures, and all that good stuff. So if that is what you're interested in seeing, let's jump right into it. So this is my baby crested gecko, Draco. Not sure if it's a female or a male because I've read you don't know until they are at least a year old. So for now, I'm just going to call him Draco. He weighs about 2 grams in this video. I measure both of them and he is measuring at about 2 grams, which I've read is about 2 months juvenile. So he is very tiny, very young. And he was actually a gift from my dad, who I recently reconnected with after years. So he's very special to me and he's a lot of work, which I definitely did not realize. He came from PetSmart, so they're selling juvenile crested geckos. Just make sure you do your research on how to take care of them before you get a baby gecko. So I'll show you later in the video how I feed him, and he does require you to feed him once a day, whereas the adults are 2 to 3 days. So that is Draco. And my next crested gecko was my second rescue, which is an adult crested gecko. Her name is Olive. I've read that she has lily white traits, Dalmatian print. I'm not too sure again about the patterns. With Draco, he is changing color every single time I look at him, so we don't know what he's going to be yet, but she is absolutely gorgeous. And she was given to me with floppy tail syndrome, so I'd love to know more information about that if anyone knows about it. And she's just so stinking cute, and she is the most relaxed gecko when you hold her. She's absolutely gorgeous. So now I'm going to show you pretty much the feeding cycle and what I do. I have this big tub. I always try to put a tub underneath me, especially for Draco, because he likes to jump. And I am currently using this crested gecko food from PetSmart by ZooMed, but it's alright. Comes with a scooper. I have these little tiny containers, and I just have Reptisafe water that is room temperature that I mix with it. And your food should come with a little scooper, so you just do 1 and 1 for the food and the water. And I always try to keep my tub underneath me because they can jump at any point. This is little Draco. I basically take some wooden tongs, mix the food together, and just hold it up to their mouth, kind of touch it to get them to kind of start licking, and then I pull away to encourage them to find it themselves, which helps once they start eating in their enclosure themselves. One thing I do want to note with the baby crested geckos is that they do have to eat every single day, and they are nighttime animals, so they don't wake up till about 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. So that's usually when I try to pull them out to feed them, just so they're a little bit more awake and ready to eat. So that is one thing to keep in mind that is a big commitment with a baby crested gecko, for sure. With my adult crested gecko, she is pretty good about eating, but I do take her out because she is a newer rescue for me. I take her out just to hand hold her and walk her and kind of just let her get used to being in my hand and feeding, and she does a great job. I do try to monitor their food. This is a great way to make sure that your geckos are eating the right amount. So I definitely try to make her eat more than the baby crested gecko just because she is underweight and she's a growing girl. So basically, after I'm done, I just rinse off my tongs, let them air dry, and then all of my food and the water and everything, I actually take it and put it underneath their enclosures. I've taken my aquarium stand and made it house all of my reptile stuff, so that just goes right in there. And then I take my tub. I usually try to keep this for just anything it comes in handy, but I definitely use this in particular to feed them. And I just stick it right beside their enclosure on top of cat stuff and aquarium stuff. So yeah. So these are my crested gecko enclosures. I have a 20-gallon aquarium tank flipped on its side with a terrarium lid and a lock for Olive. And then I have just an Exoterra smaller sized open front enclosure for Draco. So basically, the only reason that I did this was because she needed more space, and he doesn't really move around on the bottom of his a lot, which I'll show you. There's my baby. He loves the lizards. There's my thermometers in the back just to keep track. You definitely want to make sure you're keeping their humidity up and their levels nice. I did get this vine wrap, and I tried to get bamboo sticks and vines and everything. This is going to get an overhaul. I'm going to change a lot of things in here, so I'll do a video on that. But for right now, this is kind of what I've got, and Eco Earth is on the bottom there.
Oopsie.
So onto the smaller enclosure. I know people are going to say this is too big for a baby crested gecko, and I agree with you. I did originally have him in the tub, which I feed them in, but once I cleared out this enclosure, I kind of stacked everything at the top. He usually tends to stay in the aquarium plant back there. He really likes hiding in there, and also up on top of the hammock. So he doesn't really need to find his food in here for right now, just because I take him out every night and feed him. And I like storing all of my reptile stuff right underneath, just so it's easily accessible for me to make everything for them. All right, and that's gonna do it for my crested gecko tour / care video. If you have any questions, tips, or tricks, please leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when I post next. Also, if you guys do like and share this video, it helps me out a bunch as far as getting my channel noticed and creating more content for you guys. So with that all being said, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.